It's the new Flow 107.1 Denver's hip hop DJ A-Rich. I am down here right now at Cervantes Masterpiece Ballroom. I am sitting with Rapsody. She's in the building tonight with B.I.G Krit, and they're on a tour right now. From the South with Love.
Yeah, from the South with Love, me, B.I.G Krit, and Domani.
And Domani Harris, yes.
Yeah.
How you feeling?
I feel good, man. It's been probably a year and a half since I've been on the road. Last tour was Layla's Wisdom, so, going in, creating, putting out a new album. I'm happy to be out. And, I love performing because you get to have like an intimate interaction, see how the music resonates with people. Every show is different.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an experience that you leave with.
That's awesome. Now, I've been waiting to talk to you and get in person with you because as someone who's a new fan of yours, I want to talk about your album, Eve. I think it's one of those albums where it's awesome as far as when it's like women empowerment. I feel like that's what your album's about. I mean, we have songs like Oprah, Serena, and Aaliyah. Even seeing you perform at the 2019 BET Awards, that's the one I was like, who's this? and actually seeing that you were coming to town, I was like, gotta talk to her. Your new album, Eve, it's about empowering women. Like, when I hear it, give us a little details about that.
It's basically my love letter to black women, but black women's love letter to the world, to show that we're not monolith, that we can't be boxed in, that we come in all different, shades and energies and vibes. And, that's the way that we look to the world. We all don't look the same. We all shouldn't be expected the same, but, we are a village, and, no one of us is better than the other. So, it's just showing just a different sides in us, and how we should be appreciated, respected, loved, protected, and that's what it is. And I wanted to do it in a creative way by attaching it to different black women that I was inspired by, Nina Simone, Afeni Shakur, Aaliyah, Oprah Winfrey, Whoopi Goldberg, Tyra Banks, and because these are women that all of us know, and if we don't know, it's a way for me to extend their legacy and for people to go say, why did she name this Tyra Banks?
Right.
Why did she name this song Whoopi Goldberg? And, and can continue their legacies. So entertain, but as well as educate and tell our honest, true story in a creative way.
No, that's what I definitely get out of that album, being raised by a black mother and having my aunts and my two sisters, hearing this album, and I'm like, this is something that we need. And not only that, as a black man, I got that out of the album as well, that you care. And, one of the songs where you were talking about, I think it was an interlude where you're talking about mothers and their sons coming back. I know that's important as well as being a black man, because that's how it is. Like, if I'm out and about, my mom's like, hey, just make sure you come back, especially with all the stuff that happens out in the streets. It was good that you were able to touch on that and, talk about that in the music.
And I got to shout out Raina Biddy, who's the poet who did all the interludes. But I think you're talking about the interlude at the Raina's interlude.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So it's important. That's what I liked about it. I made it from the perspective of a black woman for black women, but I knew it was something that black men could be related to, because again, were raised by a black woman, and women, are, I think, the glue of society. So, it was something, regardless of what race or, what region of the world you were from or your gender, that you could relate to or grab from in some shape, form, or fashion.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the features that you have on there. You have Queen Latifah, D'Angelo, Jizza,
yes.
LaKaylee 47. All those collabs are dope. Now, when I saw Queen Latifah on there, I said, whoa, hold on. I haven't heard Latifah on the mic in a minute. Yeah. And I know she wasn't going to disappoint. But when I heard it, I was like, it like hit my soul. How was that working with Queen Latifah?
Oh, man, it was a dream come true. Like, she's one of my biggest influences since I saw UNITY and just growing up watching her through hip-hop, but also through hip-hop, not only in music, but through television, in movies, everything that she's done. So, to make it full circle and have the opportunity to create with her, and not only create, but build a friendship and, gain knowledge. She gives me advice. We just talk, joke. It's a beautiful experience, and it's priceless to me. Like, I've longed to have that kind of sisterhood and relationship with the people that I grew up being inspired by for so long. So to have the opportunity to do it, with her and MCs like Rod Digger as well, and MC Light, it's something I don't take lightly. You know?
Okay. Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask you too, like about your influences, because even at the BT Awards, I saw that you had your jumpsuit and had MC Light on and everything, which was fresh. Now, were those some of the women that you grew up listening to as well, like as far as like
definitely.
music?
Lauryn Hill's one of my biggest influences, so she definitely was represented. The three biggest ones from the start were MC Light, Queen Latifah, and Lauren. They all were represented. I had Little Kim on the patch. She's an icon, legend, of course, one of the best to ever do it. Nina Simone, who's from North Carolina, you know, a legend in the game. You know, I had the Nefertiti patch just to represent all women and to show that, you know, we are queens. So, you know, it was just something visually along with the music and the screens and everything else, you know, just to push the message home.
Absolutely. And, you know, being in the studio and being on the road, like, how do you find balance with that with your tour? Like, do you, when you get off the tour, do you have time to relax? Or are you like, let me get back in the lab and make some more music happen?
After this tour, like, it depends on how I feel. Like, I'll probably maybe take like 3 days off.
Okay.
You know, I want to go somewhere just to live in the moment, because it's been a roller coaster, beautiful roller coaster ride and whirlwind. But just to take a moment to reflect and, you know, be thankful, you know, for making it this far and being able to create. And then, you know, I'm inspired, so I'm ready to get back in and go back to work. There's so much more that I want to do, so many more stories I want to tell. But I'm definitely going to take a moment, you know, just to relax and breathe and just look back on the journey and take it all in, because I think that's important, you know, to stop for a minute and just inhale and exhale at the same time.
Absolutely. Now, your second album, how was it to be nominated for a Grammy on that? Like, what was the feeling when you were like, yo, my album's nominated for a Grammy?
Speechless, man. Like, you know, I do it to inspire people. You know, to have accolades come with it is the bonus. You know, that's never guaranteed. There are artists that have spent their whole careers and life creating classic work, legendary work, who don't always get that recognition on that level. So just to be recognized for a project that didn't hit like nowhere near top Billboard and I didn't go platinum or anything, but just to be respected and appreciated from the art, like, you know, man, that's crazy. So it's something like that still blows my mind, but I'm happy that it happened, because what I already knew, it just validated it for everybody else that, you know, you don't have to compromise and that you can make great music that, you know, has messaging that is inspiring and it still be recognized.
That's amazing. Respect to you on that. And because, like I said, being a new fan of yours and going back to even your first project, I was like, yo, your storytelling, and like you said, just stuff that you've seen, but just the way you put your songs together and the producers that you work with, I think it's amazing. And it's good to hear from a woman's perspective and still have that raw hip hop sound, because I felt like for a while we haven't had that. You know what I mean? You haven't had, I mean, they're out there, but like when I listen to your music, I'm like, yo, she is hip hop. You know, your stories is hip hop, so respect to you on that.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm a hip hop kid. That's never gonna leave me, and I just knew it would have to be the marathon. You know, like you say, it's always been there, but on a mainstream level is where we need more balance. And you know, the old saying, "Be the change that you want to see in the world."
Absolutely.
So, you know, don't compromise. Be the difference. You know, that's something Jay said. Be the difference. And that's just what I set out to do. I knew I couldn't be anybody else but myself. And one thing, Knife Wonder, my mentor, told me that, you know, you just got to keep going, because there's only so long that people can ignore talent and great music.
Absolutely.
So, you know, you just keep going. One day you break through.
Heck yeah. And you're definitely doing that. You're doing your thing. Your new project's out, Eve. And real quick too, I want to commend you on when you're performing at the BET Awards, you were shouting out other female artists in the audience, and that to me was like, yo, when you see that you already know where your heart's at as far as music and uplifting other women in the game too. So mad shout out to you on that. And real quick, I know you brought up Jay because now your latest partnership is with Roc Nation. How's that been?
It's been amazing. I've had like a couple other label meetings before that, but you know, I wanted somewhere that felt like where I was with Jamla Records, the independent label that I'm signed to, my home base, that felt like home. That was a label that was for the culture and understood the culture, and it wasn't just a business. And that's what Jay created with, Rock Nation. I went in. One thing I loved is the first day I went there, I saw how diverse it was. It was 50% women. Jay is a legend. He's from the culture, so that speaks in itself. But that trickled down to all of his employees, and they never tried to compromise the art.
That's awesome.
The 2 albums that we put out with Rock Nation, we came in with them 90% done, and they didn't change one thing. It was always, all right, what's your vision? What do you want to do? Like, let us know where you want to go, and that's what I loved about it. So it's culture first over there, and family. So it's been an amazing experience.
That's awesome. I literally got goosebumps just hearing that, because you don't hear that all the time. It's like, all right, well, we're going to tweak this, we'll change this and move this around.
Absolutely nothing. No hi-hat, no interlude, nothing. Like, we just came as we were.
That's amazing. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking the time to sit down with us.
Thank
and real quick, for newer artists, especially female artists, what is some, like, a piece of advice that you give them as far as coming into the game and navigating through all the madness?
One, never box yourself in and let anybody define you by your gender. Just go out to make dope art however you want to make it. Always be true to yourself. To be honest, build great relationships, market and brand yourself the best way you can, and know the business. I think that's important too. But I think those are the foundations. You got to work your butt off. But before anything, know what you want. Ask yourself, what do I want? Do I want to be a legacy artist? Do I want to be, an artist, that I make hits after hits after hit? Like, just define what you want to do, and that answers all the other questions on the path that you need to take to get there. If you want to be a legacy artist, like I want it to be, it's a marathon. It's going to be a longer road, but it'll last longer. Then you might just want to make hits and get in with writers and just make dope music. There's a different path for that. But anything you want to do is possible. Just know exactly what you want to do. Speak it.
Yes.
Communicate it with the people and make sure that they are aware and are down to support your vision first and foremost, and just ride the wave.
That's what's up. That's a great piece of advice. And make sure to check out Rapsody's new album right now, Eve. Woo! Make sure to peep that. And real quick before we get out of here, where can they find you on social?
At Rapsody, Rapsody, or you can hit my website and get to me from anywhere, IamRapsody.com.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time.